When you first draft a product concept, ideas feel completely weightless. You can reshape a curve or swap a material with a single fluid stroke. But that feeling of absolute freedom is a cognitive illusion. It creates a false sense of infinite time, blinding us to the real, permanent consequences taking shape on the page. The concept stage acts as a hidden trapdoor. While looking like an open space to play, it is actually the exact moment where the future physical reality of the product is silently determined. A product's heaviest, most unbreakable constraints are born right here, during its lightest and least tangible phase. We call this invisible milestone the lock-in. It is the precise moment when your abstract ideas permanently attach themselves to the product's future DNA. Plotting time against total locked-in cost, the cost line spikes dramatically at the concept stage, long before manufacturing. Conversely, a second line representing your creative freedom drops steeply in direct opposition. The window for cheap, foundational changes rapidly slams shut. How can a design decision that feels completely frictionless in the moment carry such devastatingly heavy consequences down the line? A conceptual sketch is a binding financial and physical contract for the future of the company. To understand the weight of that contract, we have to look past the abstract concept phase and step into the physical reality of manufacturing. This brings us to tooling, the point where metal is actually cut and factories are configured to produce your specific design. Once this heavy machinery is calibrated, altering a design becomes prohibitively expensive. You can no longer erase a mistake with a keystroke. You are up against the unyielding, permanent nature of capital investment and physics. Passing the concept threshold means you surrender the ability to change your mind without incurring massive and sometimes fatal penalties. Top-tier product teams survive this harsh transition into tooling by relying on a strict methodology. They simply refuse to guess. This diagram illustrates a strategy called front-loading exploration. Rather than moving forward with the first viable idea, winning teams start at a single origin point and rapidly generate a massive, divergent array of design directions at the very beginning of the process. By aggressively testing ideas, they eliminate every failure point, leaving a single, bold path forward. This process requires comprehensive visibility. A team must be able to analyze every possible iteration and view every angle of a product before locking it into the schedule. Winning teams do not rely on luck to pick the right path. They systematically engineer the elimination of the wrong options while it is still cheap to do so. Every product eventually hits an irreversible line. This is the absolute final threshold you must cross into production, regardless of how prepared your team actually is. If you haven't explored your options early, you cross this line by accident, forced over it by deadlines. But if you have done the work, you cross it on purpose, with complete confidence. Making that intentional choice requires the ability to explore conceptual iterations at a speed that matches human thought, without sacrificing any technical depth. Purpose-driven design requires a reliable bridge between rapid imagination and the unforgiving constraints of physical reality. Depix Design Intelligence provides that bridge. It is the essential tool that enables this required speed and comprehensive visibility. Depix empowers creators to fully explore, to meticulously compare, and see every single angle before they make their irreversible commitment. Because when the exploration ends and the factory waits for your final files, the total weight of that ultimate decision rests on your shoulders. Design decisions are cheap as a sketch, brutal once tooled. See every angle before you build. Total foresight is the only way to secure a product's ultimate success and character, ensuring the irreversible line is drawn exactly on purpose.